Hey boys and girls, I hope you're having a great time with Vacation Bible Study this week. We're going to be talking today about armoring up with justice. And our story today is a very familiar one. I bet you've heard it before. Today we're going to be talking about David and Goliath. Let's think about that story a little bit. I want you to imagine with me. You got two great big hills, almost the size of a mountain. And down in the middle you got two armies gathered for battle. You got the Philistines, who were really wicked and evil and bad, and you got the Israelites on the other side. But the Philistines have a giant. So I want you to imagine the biggest person you've ever seen, the tallest and biggest person. And Goliath was way bigger than that. His sword weighed 120 pounds. Imagine that, 120 pounds, just his sword. And he was way over 7 feet tall. And then he was standing out there trying to get someone to come to battle with him, and he was being very, very mean. And he would say, if you guys defeat us, we'll be your servants, but if we defeat you, or if I defeat your champion, you all will be our servants. And you know what? He was so big and so scary that nobody from the Israelite army would go out to fight him. The king was there, all the great warriors were there. Nobody would go out and fight Goliath. And then a young shepherd boy appeared, a little tiny kid, a teenager, small, a little tiny insect compared to this giant of a man. He comes on the scene and goes, "What's wrong with you? God is on our side. Go out and fight this man." But nobody would. And David said, "I'll do it." And they brought David in before the king, and they tried on his armor, and David was so small the armor would fall off of him. But he said, "I'll go out there without this armor. I don't need any of that. God protected me from bears. God protected me from lions when I was a shepherd, and He'll protect me against this Philistine, this Goliath." And so David goes out there with a slingshot. Now, not a slingshot like we have at home, but a cloth that you could put a rope in, and you could swing it over and over and over again and get it going really fast and then release it. It's a lot harder than the slingshots that you and I have to play with. And David took 5 smooth stones, and he put one of those in that slingshot, and he went right out there to Goliath, and he let it go, and it hit Goliath right in the forehead. And then Goliath dropped straight down. And while Goliath was there and knocked out, David went over and took Goliath's own sword and cut Goliath's head off, and instantly became a hero to all the people in the Israelite army. As soon as that happened, the Philistines fled. They left the area and didn't come back for quite some time. So what lies at the story today? What's at the heart of that? Well, boys and girls, what was Goliath? Goliath was really a bully. And lots of times in your life, you're going to face bullies. You may go to school and face a bully. Now, the moral of today's story is not for you to carry a slingshot to school and hit the bully in the head with a rock. That's not at all. Because was David alone when he went into battle against the Philistine? No, not at all. What did David say the whole time? That he had someone with him, that God would protect him, that God was with him in that. See, if you go up against your bully, you might not win. But you know what you can do? You can help someone else that's being bullied. If you'll go and stand beside someone that's being bullied, you will help them out a lot. You will help that bullying end. And that's sort of the life application for you today, is to come alongside the other Davids in your life that are having to stand up to their Goliath. Don't let them face him alone. Stand beside them and help them. Well, let's talk a few minutes about our armor for today. Our piece of armor for today, for the armor of God, is the breastplate of righteousness. And when the scriptures talk about that, that's us putting Jesus on as a protective covering over our chest. Why is this important? Well, this one's really too small for me, but if it was big enough for me, it would cover everything from up here around my front of my shoulders all the way down to my waist. And why is that important? Because all the things that keep you alive, from your heart and your lungs and your liver and your pancreas and everything else, all the organs in your body that keep you alive, they're from here to here. But back in David's day, that's the place where they tried to stab you the most. And so you put on this breastplate of righteousness, and it was protective for you, for all your vital organs. Just like when we put Jesus' righteousness on us, we are protected in every way that we can be. So that's our piece of armor for today. So do remember that. And then finally, we have a craft for today. Today we're going to be taking this cross and decorating it for our craft. And you can just take that and put that on your wall so that when you face your bullies, you face your Goliath, you can look at this cross and know that just like David, God is with you, and you can go into those battles with God on your side. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.